Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back.
We're super excited to have you here. We didn't plan it, but Holly and I were on the same wavelength. It's fall. We got the muted tones of outfits going, so we didn't plan it, but we're on the same wavelength.
It's finally at least sweater weather. It's still humid, but
Yeah, I don't know how to dress for this weather right now because in the mornings it might be pretty chilly, but by the afternoon it's sunny and warm. So I guess I can't complain because there's no snow.
okay.
All right.
So this week's topic is boy dinner versus girl dinner. So girl dinner is all over social media. You've probably heard of girl dinner, but have you heard of boy dinner?
I personally have heard of boy dinner because girl dinner is supreme. It's a top tier. Boy dinner is a whole nother beast. I don't even know. We'll dive into explaining what it is. Do you want to start off with some WHAT news?
Right. So first is weekly stats. Do you have any weekly stats?
I have a very exciting weekly stat you didn't need to know, but now you know. I tried one new recipe this week. I tend to want to try 18 different recipes all at once. And what ends up happening is I get tired halfway through. The kitchen's a mess. So I just kept it nice and simple this week. So I tried a new recipe. It's on budgetbites.com. And Bites is BYTES. If you have not seen this website, go check it out. We're not sponsored by them, but they really should sponsor us. Okay, I found this website back in college, and what's nice about it is that they give you budget-friendly meals and break down specifically how much each of the ingredients cost, from what's a pound of chicken to what's a quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So anyway, I did their recipe for white chicken chili in the crock pot. It's fall now, so I'm always looking for a simple crock pot meal, and I just purchased a new crock pot, so I had to break it in. You just dump it all in there. It's chicken, salsa verde, chicken broth, some seasonings, onions, beans, some jalapeno, and let it cook, and boom, you got dinner. So that's my weekly stat. What's your weekly stat?
I have two for this week.
Ooh.
So, number one is the amount of times I've been to the DMV twice, which is 2 times too many.
I agree.
Second weekly stat is the amount of money I've spent on one class this week, $213.
Oh, not for a class. I feel
Which-
like
Grand scheme of things, it's not that much because I know textbooks can be a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
still angry.
you have a right to be.
And I had to buy a Raspberry Pi and a bunch of little electronics, a breadboard, and a bunch of these.
Why do they have all these food names? So for
I
those of you who
know.
don't know, Holly was not trying to go to the grocery store and buy a Raspberry Pi to go eat. She doesn't need a bread box to hold all of her bread.
I was complaining to my coworkers, and they're like, "Why do you have a problem with that? I'll eat some of it." But no, a Raspberry Pi is like a mini computer, and they made me buy the one with more RAM, which costs more. And then I had to buy a set of little electronics, like little sensors, little light. So I had to make some electronics for my class. But again, I get to keep it after the class is over, but I'm still mad.
You can use girl math to turn it around. If you
Yeah.
keep it for 2 years, then if you keep it for 1 year, it's less than $1 per day.
But now I can make an electronic with it. I'm not sure what kind, but I can make you an electronic.
Well, that's exciting.
And then, those are both of my stats for the week.
Yeah, I agree with your DMV stat. That's just
Too
we'll
many.
get into that
Yeah.
later on.
I'll complain more. It's me, I'm not done.
She is not done.
All right, so next up, headlines of the week.
Headlines of the week. I have been trying to read more instead of scrolling or just rewatching the same TV series over and over again. So I finally finished one book, and it's The 100 Ways to Make Your Life Better by Liz Moody. I've talked about her before. She's the one who talked about the Joy List. She's got her own podcast, and now she's also had a book. I think it's been out for a couple years, but highly recommend it. Each chapter is like an easy bite that you can just read. It's maybe 1 or 2 pages long. It's got all the information that you could need and digest in one bite. We're doing all the food things today. And it has some really helpful things. Basically what she did is on her podcast, she interviews all these people, science-backed research, and she made what is it called? Not a collaboration, a collection of all the things that she learned and put it into bite-sized pieces. So this is the type of book where if you only had 5 minutes to read, that's fine. You'll finish a chapter. You're not going to forget anything. So I finished that book, and then I just got a new book in the mail today that I'm super excited. It's by Eli Rallo, and it's Does Anyone Else Feel This Way? I read one of her other books. Her other book is I Didn't Know I Needed This, and I finished that one. It was a great read. And so her new book just dropped on the 14th. So I'm super excited to read that. And maybe we'll have to do a monthly book thing. We'll have to get on it because we
Yes,
keep
we have
talking
to.
about it. But I'll read it and I'll let you guys know. So that's my headline of the week. Well, I should also add this is kind of a small headline, but I ended up buying some heavy whipping cream to make whipped cream for an event going on this weekend. And I don't need the whole container of heavy whipping cream, but obviously it's cheaper at Aldi, so you just get a giant one. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this? And then I remembered I can make vanilla sweet cream cold foam at home. So did I have way too much caffeine yesterday? Yes, I did. But did I enjoy my afternoon coffee? There was a homemade shaken espresso with vanilla sweet cream cold foam. Yes.
I
And
regret it.
yeah. And if you need the recipe, it's 3 tablespoons heavy whipping cream, 1 tablespoon 2% milk, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Or if you have vanilla coffee syrup, go ahead and use that. And the more 2% you put in, the thinner it will be. The more heavy whipping cream you have in there, the thicker it'll be. So
Barista pro tip, if your cold foam isn't foaming, add more heavy cream.
yep.
Yep.
That's what I would always do when I
Yeah.
would make them at work. I would purposely add more heavy whipping cream than 2% because some people would make the pictures of it and it just was too much
Yeah.
2%.
Like, honestly, I don't make it the way we're supposed to anymore because it doesn't work. And, like, sometimes people now will be like, "Oh, you always make it so good. You always make it right." And I'm like, "No, I don't
I make
right.
it wrong.
I make it how I'm going to make it."
You make it Hallie's way.
Yeah. And you know what? They like it.
Yeah, and you're gonna like it.
All right. So, my headline of the week, 2 things. Well, kind of 1 and a half things. 1, I just had my birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
thank
Woo!
you.
So many October birthdays.
I know. Most popular birthday
there's-
season.
I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people's birthdays are in October. Too many, but it's okay.
So, the other thing, I just realized I've been moved out of my parents' house for 10 years.
Oh my god.
And I don't feel like I'm old enough. I guess, like, my frontal lobe feels done cooking.
Just done cooking.
It, like, feels like I can think faster now.
Well, that's good.
Things
I
make
think I'm
sense.
starting to get there.
Yeah.
Starting to.
So I feel like I'm at full brain capacity. I'm peaking with my intelligence, but I just feel like I'm still like a little kid
Yeah.
at the same
Well,
time.
in this new book, Does Anyone Else Feel This Way? It talks about how she's like, I was just skimming through the chapters of like, when she was 13, she wished she was 23, but then when she was 23, she wished she was still a little kid. So I feel that. I feel that to my core.
But no, I'm definitely a little bit there too. So those are my headlines of the week.
Very nice. Now we move on to adulting of the week, the most important thing of the week. Okay, so for my adulting of the week, I had some like surprisingly, I had some time over the weekend to kind of like do nothing. But with that time, and in Liz Moody's book, it says take an admin day or an hour, whatever time
Yeah.
you have, and take and like look at, for example, I like was budgeting, but then I didn't look at it for a month. So I was able to spend some time working on budgeting. And then also in her book, if you can't tell, I couldn't recommend it more. She talked about this app called Notion, which I had never heard of. I love using my notes app in my iPhone, but I feel like sometimes it's so chaotic because it can go from something like I owe my mom $25.46. This is so and so's birthday. Return items at Target. Like, it's so random and all over the place. And so I went to check out Notion. And if you haven't seen it, I think you should definitely look at it. There's a free version and a paid version, just like everything else. And again, we're not sponsored by anybody. But what's nice is it has different tabs. So on the app on your phone, it works just like your notes app, but it's more detailed. So you can have a budget, you can have a reading list, you can make a meal plan. And so, for example, when I go grocery shopping, I'm kind of old school and we'll do a piece of paper and a pen and write out what I need to buy from the store and cross it off. But I was able to create a weekly meal plan where I wrote at the top of the page what I was going to eat throughout the week. And at the bottom, I put in a checklist of all the items I would need. And obviously, if you don't want to spend $1 bajillion, you're probably going to more than one store. So I made a list for Aldi and the list for Jewel. And what's really nice is if I can't find something at Aldi, you can just click and drag it down into Jules' list and it's right there. It's also helpful if you have any like project planning. There's so many things. So go check that out. But my adulting of the week was figuring out the Notion app and how it works and using it, and then finally going through my budget, which I had been putting off for a while.
Oh my gosh. No, like me and my fiance made a budget last month, and it's always one of those things where it's like anxiety inducing until you make it. And then you're like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah, but then you
It
kind of
is.
sit there and you're like, well, I don't know how much to budget for this category, so I'm just going to put a random amount. But then you're like, well, I guess it should be more accurate. But then you're like, well, I won't know until I figure it out. I guess you can't win. But making a budget, I think, is the first step. Because sometimes you don't realize how much money is going towards certain things. When you have to write out, this went to Amazon, this went to Dunkin', this went to Amazon again, you can kind of get an idea of where you spend your money.
So, for my adulting moment of this week, I renewed my driver's license, and you'll hear more about the story during this week's rant.
It's like a 3-part story. I love it.
Yes, this is my trilogy of the week. Yes. But I'll give you some fun tips and tricks on how to make a DMV appointment. So in Illinois, they made almost all of the DMVs in towns and cities appointment only. The ones that aren't appointment only are only open Monday through Friday during business hours. Pro tip, if you want a DMV appointment, Caroline's mom did this. Just drive to the middle of nowhere. It's easier than making an appointment. I'm really not kidding.
It really is.
Driving 2 hours away to a small town is easier. So second, if you want a DMV appointment, it says new appointments made every day at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. That's a lie. They're not posted until 8. So if you wake up at 6 and just say, oh, I'm going to go online, make myself an appointment, and you're like, everybody already made them all. No, don't listen to them. Just wait 2 more hours.
That's crazy.
There will be appointments at 8 a.m., not 6:30. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Don't listen.
I could see them having like a mixture of if you want to schedule it because you'll know that you'll get in, or
Yeah.
having a line of like, well, you didn't schedule, so you're third in line or whatever. Like I could see that. I don't know. I feel like the older generation too, they're like technologically challenged to
Yeah.
try to. I mean, you can call the number, and my mom ended up calling too. I'm not saying she's technologically challenged, but she did call to try and make an appointment. But they like wouldn't schedule her for the next day. You would have to call a day
Oh, yeah.
of, which
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
And then this also doesn't make sense, but each individual DMV only posts 1 day worth of appointments at a time, but each DMV posts a different day. So some post just like the next day. Some post 3 weeks from now.
Really?
No one knows. You just have to do what they tell you to do.
And then you need about 16 pieces of approval that you're a human being.
And then my next pro tip is even if you have the appointment, you will need to wait a minimum of 1 hour. And there's no bathrooms, so please pee before.
There's no bathrooms?
Not at all, no.
Oh, God.
No, so just expect to just wait in line at least an hour with an appointment and do pee before you go, and don't drink any water. Don't drink any water.
Be dehydrated.
Be dehydrated. Be dehydrated. But okay, I'll continue my pro tips later.
Okay.
We'll
yeah.
return to this. We'll return to this.
You need to stick around to hear these pro tips.
So next up is trends of the week.
Trends of the week. Okay. I don't think you're ready for this one, Holly. Smucker's is suing Trader Joe's.
I did not know this.
There's a lawsuit
I didn't know this.
over Uncrustables. Because Trader Joe's has their crustless peanut butter and jelly and the Uncrustables. Yeah, so you think of Smucker's with the Uncrustables, but like, come on, Smucker's. Like, let other people do it. But I wonder if Aldi got away with it because they made their square and they say like square sandwiches or something.
Yes,
So maybe Trader Joe's needs to learn from Aldi.
So a while ago, too, Costco was sued because they were selling knockoff Lululemon leggings.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of just see it as an advertisement of like, this dupe is so good, we're getting sued for it.
Yeah.
So honestly, like,
So that means Trader Joe's is just top tier.
yeah, there's top tier. They're so good. They're so good at making a dupe.
Yeah. So that's my trending topic of the week.
So, my trending topic of the week, you've already heard about this, but Taylor Swift's new album, which I recently learned, and like, what was it? I don't know. I'm not a huge Swiftie. Was it her new, like, book or movie, Life of a Showgirl? Where she did, like, some new, like, documentary. So, this is my trending topic of the week. Travis Kelce actually asked to be in her shows and was the one who wanted to be on stage with her.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
I didn't know that, but I know he dressed up in a little suit and top hat and danced around. That was his idea, not hers.
So the new album is The Life of a Showgirl, and I know she did the Eras tour, which was like the world's largest tour, and then she put out on Disney like the tour that you could watch. And now she's doing a 6-part documentary series that comes out December 12th. I promise I'm not that big of a Swiftie. It just pummels your For You page, everything. But behind the scenes of the Eras tour, which I feel like will be pretty interesting because how many times do you get to see what goes on behind the scenes? And yeah, so if you're a huge Swiftie, we want to hear your opinions about the new album. Again, like I think back to how many songs of hers that are just bops. Like
Yeah.
you obviously you're like, oh, Taylor Swift again. Like that's my personal feeling. Like, oh, Taylor Swift, you know. But like I have to give it to her. She's so talented. And to have that many albums and then that many songs of hers, I feel like is just kind of crazy.
Because at Starbucks, they made a new Starbucks place called Starbies.
Oh gosh.
And and it's just all Taylor Swift. And I wanted to hate it, but I did find myself singing along.
There's
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but like
Yeah.
deep down you want to hate it.
Yeah.
But you just can't.
I just can't.
It's just good. Maybe it's the fact that you just keep hearing the songs over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's some sort of special magic with it.
And she at least she has good music theory, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kudos to her.
So now moving on to the main topic, boy dinner versus girl dinner. Starting off, we're just going to talk about what is boy dinner, what is girl dinner, and what are the differences.
All I can think of is the sound where it's like girl dinner, girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm butchering that, but it's like 3 different. Like it's like a harmony. It's like girl dinner.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. So girl dinner is usually aesthetic.
Yes.
It's on a pretty plate, probably with a pretty fork, probably with a pretty drink. And
Multiple drinks. I was
multiple
thinking about that.
drinks.
You need to have multiple drinks.
And then on the plate is a couple bites of 50 different things.
That's so accurate.
Just stereotypically, it's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know when it became popular, but I feel like I've been doing it before it became popular.
And there's certain things that are super popular for girl dinner, like tiny individual charcuterie plates.
Yeah.
Or olives and pickles. Super common for some reason.
Yeah. It's usually some sort of mix of healthy-ish things and maybe some just snacky things. So I feel like there's usually one sort of fruit thrown in there. I preferred choices like apple slices. That's something I always have that just goes on the plate. Snacky side, I feel like you get your choice between pretzels and crackers. You could be fancy and do pretzel thins.
Always candy.
Yeah, some sort of candy, some sort of cheese stick or cheese.
Oh, yes.
Maybe some lunch meat or salami, pastrami. Not pastrami. What's the other?
The fancy
prosciutto.
one. Yeah.
There we go. That's the one. But yeah, aesthetically pleasing. It's got a fancy plate. The whole plate is full. It's not like you're getting a big plate and it's only full of 3 things. No, the whole plate is full. Or you size down on your plate and then you really stack it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Grapes is also,
Oh, yeah.
yep.
Grapes. Perfect. Grapes.
I'm trying. Basically, it's like a clean out of your fridge and pantry all on one plate because you don't feel like cooking.
Exact. Perfect. Perfect.
The world and life is too stressful and you're not going to spend any time to cook. I should probably also mention, it's probably your first meal of the day and your only meal of the day.
Relatable. Which explains why you load it up.
You gotta load this thing up. We should do a video. Check out our Instagram later this week. Later this week we'll do a girl dinner, how to make it.
So on part 2, we'll have some examples of boy dinner and girl dinners in our lives. But next up is what's boy dinner? So boy dinner is less talked about. Some people know what it is.
Well, I had a few more girls.
Sorry. Let's go back. Sorry.
Going back. Okay. This is what I wrote down for girl dinner. All of the snacks. It's just all of them.
All of them.
Trader Joe's is the best place to go to get your girl dinner stuff. You usually got to throw in some dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You got some fruit. You got some cheese and crackers. Maybe there's something that caught your eye and just ends up on there. Who knows? As Holly mentioned, presentation matters. You're not just going to have it thrown all over your plate. No, you're going to pretend like you don't like any of your food touching. It's going to be, here's the section of fruit, here's some cheese. It's like Pinterest board worthy. And do we take enough photos of our girl dinners? No,
Never.
never.
Bonus points is if you have flowers on your plate that you're not intending to eat.
Yeah, I've never done that, but maybe by the end of the week, I'll be ready for that girl
I've never
dinner.
done that, but I've seen a lot of it online.
It's got to be a mixture of crunchy, sweet, and savory on the plate. You want all of it. Enough said there. It always has, or you end with a little sweet treat, just a little, because we gotta have our desserts. We just need to. And it doesn't need to make sense.
No,
It really doesn't.
it doesn't.
If it's breakfast foods for dinner, perfect. If it's random leftovers from a Tuesday night, like 4 bites of Thai food and then all these other things, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to get in my belly.
And like bonus points if you just like let your feelings guide you and what
Yes.
you put on the plate.
You need to let your feelings guide you.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just put everything, a little bit of everything you want on the plate.
Think of like everything bagel seasoning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you need. That's what's going on your plate. A
Yeah.
little bit of everything. It mixes together and it tastes good.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll have to show you our girl dinner. It's a stress-free. I should also mention, usually girl dinner is eaten while like sitting on a couch or in your bed.
Yeah.
You're never like formal sitting at the kitchen table eating this girl dinner. No. You are rewatching a show that you've seen 4 different times and you're eating your girl dinner. That's what's up. Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything more for girl dinner?
No.
Okay, now we need to go to boy dinner, which is a totally different beast that there may not be enough words to explain.
All right.
Take it away.
So, boy dinner. Not a lot of people have heard of boy dinner. I mean, it's still a thing, but it's not like as big of a thing as girl dinner is right now.
Yeah.
So, boy dinner is usually simple, no seasoning. Oh, if
Mm-mm.
you
Maybe hot sauce.
you can have hot sauce, barbecue sauce, or one steak sauce.
Yep.
No ketchup. No.
No,
No.
no ketchup or ranch. No fresh vegetables.
No fresh vegetables. Or you can have a fresh vegetable, but it has to be plain and uncooked.
So just like green pepper with no dressing. That's so
But-
boring. I need like ranch dip or hummus, or that's a great girl dinner one. Veggies
So
and
good.
hummus.
So boy dinner, oftentimes it will either be something that is super comforting, like kids' food. Like there's this viral image where it's like my last meal before basic training. And it's macaroni and cheese, cosmic brownies, and dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Yep.
So something you would have loved as an 8-year-old, but now you're an adult and you can eat it.
But the issue is they have to know how to cook all the food,
Yes.
which is the key. So there might be different tiers of boy dinners depending on how skilled the chef is.
For sure. And then another option is healthy boy dinner. So it's 2 hamburger patties, no bun,
Nothing else. No sides.
seasoning, no sides.
Maybe cheese on top.
Yeah, maybe cheese on top.
Maybe no pickles. Get out of here. They probably wouldn't even take the time to grab a pickle out of the.
Or you can do other proteins like eggs, but you have to have 8.
I was gonna say eggs, but you have to have like a ridiculous amount because
Like-
all you're eating is eggs.
No fewer than 6 eggs is acceptable.
Maybe you can throw some cheese in there and some hot sauce.
Yeah.
Do you have toast on the side? No, because they don't buy
No.
bread.
No. And if you buy bread, you're not going to eat it before it goes bad.
Right.
You can also do chicken breast. Again, same principle. You need to have at least 3 or 4 chicken breasts.
You need like protein.
Yeah, like protein, but like more than that, more than what you think.
More.
Double it.
More. Yeah. Chicken. Plain. Maybe like ground turkey.
Yeah.
Ground beef. And you know what? When they try to add seasonings, they don't know what they're doing. They're just going to add all the seasonings. Will they still eat it? Yeah. But then when they describe to you what they made for dinner, you're like, you put all those seasonings together and they're like, yeah, I did do that.
It
So,
tasted fine.
yeah. I'm like, what?
Another option, cheese.
Cheese?
Fuck. Shredded out of the bag over the sink.
Yep.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. You know what I need to make soon? This is a little tangent, but I keep seeing somebody making like the cheap nachos where you just like put tortilla chips on a plate and then
Yeah.
put just shredded cheese over the top and throw it in the micro. I think I
Yeah.
need to make that for girl dinner
Okay,
tonight.
this sounds silly, but my parents always called that chips and cheese if you microwave it. And then if you cook it in the oven, it's nachos.
Oh, I need some chips and cheese.
But I don't think that's real.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just, like, cheap nachos.
Yeah, we're
But for
making
some reason in my
cheap
head,
nacho.
I always just call it chips and cheese.
I like it. Chips and cheese.
But that one is really good. Also, I would say that is a boy dinner. My dad would eat that
Yeah.
for dinner all the time. He'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, I'm tired. Time to make my chips and cheese."
For a couple of things I wrote down, important notes for boy dinner. In all caps, I have protein. That is the main ingredient. Bonus points if they know how to cook it, because that's going to be the key here. Boy dinner is also anything that someone else makes. When they don't have to cook, A plus. I mean, they will accept whatever is made because they don't want to cook and or don't know how to cook. So anything anyone else makes, that could be boy dinner.
It can be their relative, their friend, a restaurant,
Yep, leftovers.
leftovers.
Boy dinner is just
Yeah.
eating their parents' leftovers.
Yeah, there's
That's what it
so
is.
many options, but just not them cooked it.
Yep. Did I mention protein? I don't think we made it that clear. Simple with no sides, because apparently sides take a long time to think of and make, and no toppings.
No.
So I feel like if you were to guess, it's probably like ground turkey with like scrambled eggs. Doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
okay, eat that. Grilled cheese or quesadilla, I feel like those are pretty common if you know how to make them, and they're not that hard to make. Tuna packet, just go ahead and eat that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Canned tuna, but 3
Mhm.
cans.
And like no, they don't make like tuna salad. It's
No.
just tuna.
Tuna. Yeah, tuna.
Or maybe tuna salad where they add the mayo, but they don't put in all the good like red onion and celery and all that. Yeah, boy dinner, it's a whole nother world, and we've tried to describe it for you. So hopefully we did it justice. But yeah.
And then on some cases, there are some high effort, like boy dinners, but they're also
Yeah.
still protein based. So, like chili.
Have you seen a boy make chili?
I have.
Whoa.
So, chili, steak.
I was gonna say they will
Steak.
not know how to cook
Yeah.
anything else, but they will make a giant steak
They can make
and
a
just eat that.
perfectly medium rare reverse seared steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Just the meat part, but every side dish doesn't exist.
But no seasoning.
They don't even season the steak?
You can put salt on it. You're allowed to put salt on your steak. That's it. Then you're done.
Wow.
Salt. Then you're done.
Yeah. Boy dinner, it's pizza.
Oh yeah, pizza. Pizza.
Frozen
Classic.
pizza.
Classic boy dinner.
Yeah.
Same with Hot Pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Classic boy dinner. And frozen food in general, they made Hungry Man for a reason.
It's very accurate. Yeah.
But yeah, generally, boy dinner is straight to the point. Like, it's like you go for protein, you go for your nutrients. You're not going for any like pleasure or happiness.
No.
No, it's just pure utility.
Yeah.
Like, one
Girl
of my
dinner is like vibes, and boy dinner is just, yeah, utility.
like the perfect example is one of my coworkers recently said, when I cook at home, it's purely from a utility point of view to keep me sustained. There is no concern over taste or my own happiness.
I'd be so sad.
But yes, that's what I kind of think as boy dinner is.
Yeah. So, did you have anything else for boy dinner?
No.
Okay. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our little rendition of boy dinner and girl dinner. And you know the boys in your life are not taking pictures of their boy dinner, but you should definitely point it out to them when they are eating boy dinner and be like, what are you eating? At least it's got protein, I guess.
But yes, so girl dinner is more so comfort through curation and artistic expression. Boy dinner is just efficiency and minimal cleanup.
Yep. And you'll have to look for our girl dinner next week.
So now I would like to share some boy dinners and girl dinners from my life.
Okay.
Yes, you can add in too if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go straight with just like me and my fiance first. For my girl dinners, again, it's just straight charcuterie. Sometimes it makes no sense. It's like multiple different single slices of different flavors of lunch meat.
Yep.
Different slices of cheese, different types of cheese, random vegetables, random fruits, random spreads,
You
random
forgot about the
crackers,
dips.
random dips and spreads. Bonus points if there's at least 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then sometimes also like sprinkle seasonings, like everything bagel seasoning on the side. And then sometimes we'll do crackers and sometimes we'll do crackers and bread.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And if I'm too tired to do that, I make ramen and I add extra little things into the ramen.
Oh, yeah. If you needed like a sustainable ramen, just throw some chicken in there. Like if you had leftover chicken and then broccoli with it.
Yeah. So boy dinner, my fiance's boy dinners, they're very interesting. Peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my god, okay.
Yes.
I eat peanut butter and jelly
Yeah.
pretty much daily. Not daily, but I love it, so that falls into my category, but
Peanut butter and jelly.
okay.
He loves peanut butter and jelly.
So good.
Another, spaghetti. He loves spaghetti.
Will he cook it for himself?
Yes.
Okay,
He'll cook spaghetti.
that's good.
So spaghetti.
Okay,
And it just every time he cooks spaghetti.
fair.
Yeah, so if dinner means spaghetti
With sauce or, like, butter or
with
cheese?
with tomato sauce,
Okay, cheese on top?
if we have cheese.
And then no meat on the side?
No, because it's always frozen.
Do you remember you get those text messages from your
Yes.
mom and it'd be like, "Can you take the chicken out of the freezer?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And then you hear the garage door open and you're like, "Shoot, I didn't pull the frozen chicken out of the freezer." So you'd run downstairs, grab it, chuck it in the sink to defrost, and then she would be like, "When did you take this out?" I'd be like, "Well, I took it out of the freezer."
But yeah, and I think my fiance is a little bit different because he loves sweets. So his boy dinners will often be like a cupcake, a slice of pie, some candy, and a Pop-Tart.
Yum.
Done. Simple.
We forgot to
Easy.
mention protein shake.
Oh, protein shake.
That is a boy dinner.
Protein shakes.
Boy dinner coated.
And then bonus points if it's something like Soylent. Have you heard of Soylent? So if the name sounds terrible, so unappetizing, but it's
Yeah.
a meal replacement shake that has
Oh.
100% of your like macro and micronutrients in it for one meal.
Oh, wow. Isn't it really, really thick?
Yes, it is really thick because it has added fiber, so it's viscous.
No.
No, I'm not a fan.
No, thank you. No,
No.
thank you. So for my girl dinner, I would probably say I try to do some like carrots and green peppers cut up with either ranch or hummus, apples, grapes, any and all of the fruit. Maybe some like peanut butter to go with the apples. It could be peanut butter and jelly. My comfort meals like mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. Girl dinner would just be like leftovers of those being heated up, and you have like 5 bites left of mac and cheese. Sometimes pita chips thrown in there. I'm trying to think anything on sourdough bread, so maybe it's avocado toast or
I
a grilled
forgot about
cheese.
avocado toast. I forgot.
Some like dark chocolate or maybe some popcorn. Usually just random items that Laughing Cow cheese and wheat thins.
So good.
Aldi has their own and it's called it's not Laughing Cow. I forget what theirs is, but a pepper jack version
So
of it
good.
is so good. Friendly Farms or something like
I
that.
forgot about that.
My dad goes, "Did you have any of that Happy Cow?" I'm like, "That's not it, but that's okay." And then, of course, you need like 2 or 3 drinks. You need your water, then probably something to caffeinate you, maybe like a bubbly water or something. This is my girl dinner tonight. It is Costco's organic chocolate milk. They changed out the top cap and it's made me happy.
And then I forgot. I love eating popcorn for dinner, but
Yeah.
like a ridiculous amount of popcorn.
Well,
Yeah.
popcorn's one of those
It's
things
so
where you
healthy,
can
but
like eat a bunch of it and it's fine because I think
Yeah.
some of them like the serving is about 3 cups or something, so no one's gonna know.
So I have a Whirly Pop, which is like the hand crank stovetop one, and I will eat like one Whirly Pop of popcorn, which it's like this big.
It sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like eating a full meal. I feel like eating girl dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And then for boy dinner, just thinking from like what my brother does and then what my boyfriend does. My brother would not mention he was hungry until somebody suggested that they were gonna make food, and then all of a sudden he's hungry, so it'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna make some soup. Do you want any?" "Oh, I'm starving. I would love some." But then if you just asked him, "Oh, are you hungry right now?" "No, it's fine. I'll figure it out later." And then as far as my boyfriend goes, he'll cook like ground turkey with seasoning. I sometimes question the seasoning that he puts on there, but at least he's seasoning his ground turkey and he knows how to cook that. Chicken burgers, but again, I think kind of plain, but I guess that's better than other options. Eggs with some cheese and hot sauce. Like, we're making progress. The other thing though, I feel like what's nice about like boy dinner is that even though sometimes their meals aren't as flavorful or maybe there's no sides, I feel like they themselves are not a picky eater. So whenever we cook together or whether somebody else cooks food for us, they'll eat whatever,
It's nice.
which is nice because
Yes.
that would be bad if they were so picky that their boy dinner was all that they liked and then we would
Yeah.
have to make the boy dinner and no.
Which is kind of this sounds silly, but I love dating or being in relationships with people who aren't picky eaters,
Yeah.
but like simple food. Where if my fiance is feeling sick and he wants like and can't cook, it's so easy. It's just here's a peanut butter and jelly, and he's like, "You made this for me."
That's the way I am. I'm like,
Yeah,
"You made this?" Yeah.
he's like, "Make chicken nuggets." You made this for me.
Chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, or
Yeah,
I have the opposite where I tend to be like, "I don't feel like cooking, here's this again," and they won't complain.
yeah, so good. And then I forgot to mention this is probably like this is healthy boy dinner. It's chicken breast, at least 8 grams, not grams, ounces.
Ounces
At least 8 ounces of chicken
with
breast
rice.
with brown rice. Yes, correct. And can you guess the third thing?
I was gonna say broccoli,
Yes! You won! You won. So that's health that and not only is that
but
healthy,
it's probably raw broccoli.
and it's called that's the cut diet.
Yeah,
Cutting
yeah.
or the gains.
You
I
need
don't
to
know.
cut it out of your life
Anyways, I
because
don't
it's terrible.
I use bro words, bro lingo. I don't know what it means.
Does anybody know what it means? Do you remember that one song? And it's like Will
Yeah.
Ferrell, he's like, "Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative."
I remember that. And then, I remember this one from my uncle. I stole it. I
Okay,
stole my uncle's boy dinner. It was 2 hamburgers, only 1 bottom bun, no top bun.
okay,
So 2 separate hamburgers,
okay.
nothing but jalapenos on them.
What?
But I tried it. It was actually really good. So it's 1 bottom bun, 1 hamburger patty, jalapenos. That's it.
And then the other burger on top?
No,
It's just both patties on the half bun with the
separate,
jalapenos?
separate.
So it's burger,
Yeah.
bun, burger, jalapenos?
Yeah, but it's like, you know how, like, when you make eggs and toast, you have, like, 2 slices of toast
Yeah,
topped with 2 eggs?
yeah.
It's like that.
Oh, okay. Okay,
And
interesting. And
I don't
jalapenos?
I like spicy food, but I just remember thinking about it. It's like he could have made a double and put them together, but instead he had 2 open-faced hamburgers.
He didn't want all the carbs.
Yeah, but he didn't want a double hamburger
It
because then you have to unhinge your jaw.
Smart. It
So
makes me think about the one time I had a leftover burger and a leftover Texas toast. And so instead of using a bun, I just put the burger on top of the Texas toast and it was delicious. So it makes me think of that.
and, like, sometimes, like, I'll go out and eat, like, dinner with friends or family, and I'll come home and my fiancé makes himself food, and he has uncooked, cold, canned vegetables as a side, and I'm like, unseasoned, and I'll
That's so
ask
gross.
if he wants me to warm them up, and he's like, "Why? They're done."
They're done.
They're already cooked.
One other thing I do have to say is like for boy dinner, they'll wait until the last second to
Yeah.
make it because they're hoping and praying that somebody's going to make them some food or somehow the food gods will deliver a full meal to them. Oh my gosh. Girl dinner, I was just out of this. Usually, like, if I'm feeling it, maybe like a yogurt parfait.
Oh, so
Like
good.
yogurt with granola and
Yeah.
fruit, and then just all the sides.
Same with smoothies. Smoothie, great girl dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed our boy dinner and girl dinner debate. And hopefully this week, maybe we'll try something different. And then on your meal planning thing on your Notion app, you can say boy dinner on Monday, girl dinner on Tuesday. Honestly, if you rotated between the two, you'd be pretty healthy.
I know, you'd be actually very well balanced.
But we will share our girl dinner of next week with you. So check out our Instagram at Expertly Unqualified. We tend to post fun content. That brings us in today's final part of the episode, our Expertly Unqualified rant and Expertly Unqualified advice. Holly, you've got a part 3 of a rant, so go ahead.
All right, I was going to ask if you wanted to go first, but I'm going to go off.
You go off.
So, okay, so I just missed the freaking deadline for Saturday DMV appointments. So, just the past couple months, they made it where all of the suburban and not even just suburban, like any like
Big city,
busy
yeah.
and like a bunch of like other towns that aren't big. Anyway, so I just missed the deadline. So basically, almost all of the DMVs in the state are only open Monday through Friday during business hours. So if you want an appointment, you can't just make an appointment.
It would be nice if you could make it in
Yeah.
advance and be like, "Next Tuesday, I'm gonna go in at noon," or
Which it would be nice, but again, like, only certain DMVs have appointments on certain days, so basically, like, you're kind of just playing chance if you can get one, and when I got there, basically, I looked at the DMV website to see what information, like, I needed to like, documents I needed to bring,
yeah.
and I brought my renter's insurance, my lease, and, like, a couple other things. They told me my renter's insurance didn't count the first time, and I had to leave and go home, and I didn't argue with them or, like, anything, and I looked it up online, and it said so I told Caroline this, but they looked at my renter's insurance and said, "This is your car refinance paperwork." I had recently refinanced my fiance's car, so I trusted them. I didn't argue with them. I got home, I looked at the paperwork. It was my renter's insurance policy, and they told me, "No, this is your car refinance paperwork."
That's crazy.
And it literally said renter's insurance. So, I brought it back the next time. They said, "What is this? I've never seen something like this before." And she said, "Do you have the deed to your house?" And I said, "I don't own a house. I'm in my 20s. I rent. This is my renter's insurance policy." She said, "I can't accept this." I said, "It says right here on your website you can." And she went, "Oh, okay. I'll put it in the computer then."
Thank God you were like, "It says right here."
Which, like, I hate being that guy, but, like,
You have to be that guy at the DMV.
I wouldn't have been able to get my freaking license if I wasn't that guy and said, like, "Listen here, right here it says you accept renter's insurance." So it's like, "Okay, do you only want me to get a driver's license if I own a home?" I thought they used to just
No
accept
one would be able to drive.
and they used to just accept any piece of mail too.
Yeah.
And then next, I didn't have enough stuff that they would accept for my real ID. And then they tried telling me I had to leave and I couldn't have a driver's license because I didn't have the real ID. So I
Mm.
said, "Can't I just get the regular one?" And they
Yeah.
go, "Why would you want that?" And I
I'm
said,
like, "So I can drive?"
"That is what I said." So I could drive.
Yeah, and then
And
just get a new one later.
and it just took me, like, over 10 minutes worth of arguing with the second person, like, the second appointment, to actually get my license, which, again, I complained about this earlier, but I would assume if you had, like, an appointment, it would be shorter. No! The first time, I waited 2 hours before I got to the counter, before they told me I couldn't have my license and had to leave and come back. So the second time, again, like, I waited, like, well over I think I was there for, like, 2.5 hours to get a
Oh
license.
my gosh. So you were able to just get the regular one for now?
Yeah, I have the regular
Okay.
one now so I can drive, but all of that was just so terrible. So this is what I'm mad about. The driver's license DMVs that don't require appointments used to be open on the weekends, now they're not anymore. So,
Yeah, and you're like, "Let me leave work so I can go to the
yeah.
DMV."
And if you need to renew your license and it expires before you can renew it, which happened to me, you have to get a second person who doesn't have a job to take you or doesn't work
Who isn't busy.
during the
Yeah.
weekday.
Ugh,
So, it was a whole rodeo,
as
and
a
it was a
whole
whole fiasco, and that made me angry. Yeah, pro tip, go out to the middle of nowhere. Promise you, driving 2 hours is less effort than making an appointment, and I promise you, driving 2 hours and waiting in a rural line is so much
there's probably
shorter.
not gonna be a line.
There's not gonna be a line. I went to that one a while ago. I waited maybe, like, 30 minutes total, and that was busier too, so just do it. What don't deal with the appointments, just drive far. Do you have a rant for this week?
I don't have a rant for this week, but I do have some advice. Go make yourself a girl dinner. Make sure it's got all the qualifications, and we'll post these too. All the snacks, presentation needs to be there. Crunchy, sweet, savory, a little sweet treat because you need to treat yourself. And it doesn't need to make sense. It's you eating your dinner. So go enjoy your girl dinner. Go enjoy this beautiful fall weather that we're having. Go get in some walks. And we're in the good chunk of fall. So if you haven't made your fall joy list, get on that. Get on that. And did you have any advice?
No. Thank you, though.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we will catch you guys next week.
And thanks for listening to us talk for another week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
You're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation's so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing.
was a Podmates production.